soul. Run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it, yes. Come on Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
Hello and welcome to Taff's Words. Obviously I'm Taff and I'm coming to you with another video today to discuss our start of the season. Now, I think the last video I put out was the morning of our first home game, and it was following all the negativity that we had after the Cheltenham game and all the negativity that we've had throughout pre-season. And yeah, let's just say that I got a little bit fed up with it, because I understand this new era that we're going into. I understand the philosophy that the club is adopting. I understand the style of play we're trying to implement. I understand it all. I understand the concept of young, talented players, scouted, talented players coming into the football club with energy, raw talent, ready to be coached and moulded into the perfect players for the style of football that we want to implement. Because a lot of people are obviously going on about experience in League Two, and for me, experience can also bring bad habits. Because if someone's been doing something, you know, for a long time, they're going to carry on doing that. And if that's not for us, that's not for us. There's obviously going to be quality out there, but there's quality. Quality would be the mix of talent, consistency, and experience. So experience, yes, of course, is important, but like I said, with experience can also come bad habits. Now, when you've got talent, let's just say that you got your experience level there, but you got your talent level there. That's why players like Ben White, Antoine Semenyo, Tyreek Bakinson, Josh Laurent, you know, just thinking of a few loanees that we've had over the years who've done well, Scott Twine, you know, your experience is obviously right down here, but your talent is there. Now, they obviously had great seasons for us. You know, they played really well for us. And now they've gone on to do better things because their talent is there. Because when the experience creeps up, it brings up your overall ability. Now, if you've got that talent, you've got to be coached right with that talent, or that talent will be wasted. So that's the idea that I've got. Obviously, if you're skated correctly, which it looks as though the players that we brought in have been, then, you know, you're going to have a team full of raw talent. And that talent is going to shine through because they're young, they're energetic and keen and ready to, you know, run through walls for you to try and prove themselves and progress. Because one thing they would have had to have before we signed them was the right attitude, that can do, I'm willing to work my balls off to get there kind of attitude. So for me, you know, we're seeing the evidence of that over the first two home games that we've seen. Now, let's just quickly go back to the Cheltenham game. And there's a lot of people now who, you know, at the time it's like, oh, we lost, we're shit, oh, we're going to go down, oh my God, I'm so worried. But then when you watch the game, when you were watching the game, you could see that we started the better team. We had a moment, a lapse, a 10-minute period where they got 2 goals within it, and were pushing for a third until we took back control of the game. But then we saw out the first half going in 1-1 because we took back control and got the equaliser before half-time. Then, like I said, we got the 2 goals, sorry, yeah. So we got the 2 goals. We went 2-0 down. We took control of the game and got the 2 goals back before half-time. And then second half was pretty much all us, barring 1 or 2 little chances that they had. One of them was a bit of a sitter, granted the header. But then their goal came when we were already down to 10 men, not because we had someone sent off, because we'd used all of our subs. Well, we didn't use all our subs, we used the 3 reigns of subs. Obviously, Carbo had to go off. Glenn goes down injured. They exploit the left, which is his position. They get the goal. And even the goal itself, you know, the strike, it sort of goes through our player and through the goalkeeper into the near post. I think he scores that maybe twice out of 10 times, and no, yeah. So another 8 times, he doesn't score that. So coming away from there with a point would have put us in a position where we would have been in 3rd or 4th, because we're currently in 5th. Yeah, that was that game. I wasn't worried on the back of that one. And the Leyton Orient one didn't bother me all that much, because cup game, team in the higher division, they got a striker who probably should be playing in the Championship, not League One, who tore us apart. And yeah, it wasn't a good game. But what football team in the history of forever have never had a bad game? Every football club that have ever gone have had a number of bad games, some more than others. But, you know, there we go. So, brings us on to Doncaster. So Doncaster, we were up against a team that we know are going to be there or thereabouts this season. Not so much there or thereabouts, sorry. Oh, long day. Right. Not just there or thereabouts, but highly tipped to finish in the top 3 and by some to win League 2 this season. They came to us. We should have been 1-0 up in the first couple of minutes. I personally believe that we missed the better chances in the first half, although they had the majority of the play. But there was obvious areas where we were lacking. But the good thing is, when we come out in the second half, we'd rectified that. So there's something within our manager that's allowing him to understand where we're going wrong in the first half to alter it for the second half. You know, like the Cheltenham game, we controlled the majority of the second half after we'd obviously gone in and he'd obviously said, you're doing this, and this wrong. Do it this, and this way, and you'll get it right. And they go out there and they start getting it a lot more right than they would have done. So it just goes to show that we've got a manager who can turn things around tactically and like motivationally with players. Obviously, he can you know, highlight to them, educate them, shall we say, mid-game. So we come back out for the second half and we absolutely blow them away. And obviously they had the majority of the possession for the last sort of 20 minutes of that half, but the damage had been done on our part. We just need to protect our lead, and we did that, and we did that really well, which was really nice to see. Sorry about the yawning, guys. Early night for me tonight, I think. But coming back to the football now. So Arrington, we just played Arrington now. Now, I'm going to fully admit that we probably deserved to lose that game. But the amount of times we've been on the receiving end of where we've been the better team, very much like Arrington were, over the course of the whole 90 minutes, Arrington, I'd say, were the better team. Certainly the first half. We were quite lucky to be going in 1-1. It probably should have been 2 or 3-1, possibly even 4-1. They could have had the game done in that first half, but we changed it. So the penalty was a penalty. The 2 goals were good enough goals, although the Wildig one come off of a mistake by what's his face. So I can't remember who it was. One of their defenders headed it backwards into Wildig's path. Wildig took it well on the volley. And Cameron Antwi should have had a penalty as well, which could have made it 4-1. So obviously it wouldn't 100% because we could have missed that penalty. But the thing is, right, I'm not naive enough to think, oh my God, we're the best thing ever, so, you know, we're going to absolutely piss it now. No. So there is still a naivety. There is still a clutch of inexperience in the team at the moment. But big bet on that is that they just won 2 games. Now, I'm not in a tip to go down, so that's one that we should have looked at and think, well, that is one that we'd be targeting to win anyway. Doncaster, certainly, we know would have had us down to win that game. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Anyway, yeah, so Doncaster, Arrington, we beat them, and we beat them both 3-1. Nick Townsend showed why he's such a great goalkeeper and why he's always been important to us, because he made some fantastic saves, because even then, when we were 2-1 up, Arrington could have equalised. Even before we went 2-1 up from the penalty, Arrington could have taken the lead. But then I think once we got the third, we pretty much took control of the game then. There didn't look like that there was going to be any more other than the Antwi penalty shout. But what I'd like is that we've taken 3 points in a game that we weren't that good, and you know, we've picked up on some things to learn from. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to go saying that this is going to be a great season, because we are going to lose games in the league going forward. You know, we're going to Morecambe. There's an expectation now. But what county teams of the past, like Flinney's team in the past, have always been guilty of, is raising the bar so high that the expectations of the fans become a bit too unrealistic. What we need to do as supporters now is we 2 good home games, really enjoyed them. Let's not get carried away just now. Let's just enjoy it for now. If come Christmas we're in the mix, great, we can enjoy that a little bit more. But let's not try raising that bar of expectation too high too quickly, because that's where we're going to start getting back into the negative zone. Because I say we could lose to Morecambe on the weekend, but we're still in a good position. There's still lots of games left. You know, we've shown like what we could do against Doncaster. We've shown that we can beat good teams. We've shown that we can play well. We've shown that we have got a lot of talent in our team. So all I'm saying is, don't get too eager to raise that bar of expectation. That's all I'm saying. So that's pretty much what I'm going to call it now, is the bar of expectation. That's what this episode is called. And we got to make sure we don't raise it too quickly and too high, because when the expectation sets in, the pressure increases. These younger players, at the moment, they're playing without that much pressure, thank God. If we pile that pressure onto them, things may change. So let's just enjoy it for now. But then as it progresses through the next couple of seasons, as we progress as a football club on the field, and we are at a point like, right, we got a team full of bloody stars here. You know, a lot of people are going to tip us to win the league next year, you know, because the progression of these players has been outstanding. You know, we've made another few 100,000 on a couple of player sales by then, and you know, we've put a bit more into the kitty. It's like, right, we could bring 1 or 2, you know, top players in to put in amongst these good youngsters. Obviously, we can't have all youngsters. We do need to have that bit of, you know, experience, but people who have suited to our style of play, of course. But anyway, the future will be what it will be. But, you know, like I said, that bar of expectation is important. Like I said, it's really important that we don't raise it too quickly. All right. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all agree. And again, in the comments, feel free to raise a subject that I can talk about. I'd be happy to do a dedicated video if the subject is a good enough talking point. So, yeah, let's do it. All right. Thank you again. And as always, cheerio and up the county.